Hey, Transplant Helper community. I just want to pause for just a moment to answer a question I got from a good friend of the program, Shaquille Green, as well as I've received this same question over and over again. And it concerns basically, is it okay if I drink coffee after my heart transplant? Well, in general, I would have to answer that question. Yes, there's not really anything in coffee directly, especially if you're not overindulging in it, that's going to necessarily be harmful to you after transplant. However, there are just a couple of factors you need to keep in mind as you do that. Number one, you need to be careful that if you're going to drink coffee, especially inside, I would say, the first 6 months or so after transplant, that maybe you make the choice to go ahead and start drinking, if you can talk yourself into it, decaffeinated coffee. And that's not really because it's going to cause any harm, any damage necessarily, especially in smaller amounts, 2 or 3 cups a day. But it is to say that just after transplant, especially inside of the first 3 to 6 months, you may be experiencing an elevated heart rate as well as some small arrhythmias. And if you're one who takes in some caffeine, whether it be through any kind of drink that contains it, and especially through coffee throughout the day or at any point during the day, it may cause that elevated heart rate to be a little bit higher, may cause some arrhythmias or such as that you might just blame on the coffee, and then therefore possibly masking an underlying issue that you might need to get checked out. Now, I hope I made sense in saying that. Nonetheless, I'm just saying if you're going to drink coffee, try to drink decaffeinated. If you drink that with caffeine, just understand you might be overlooking some symptoms that you might have otherwise noticed had you not been taking in the caffeine. A second factor that you need to think about concerning that, especially on the caffeine side, is that after transplant, most of us are on those higher level doses of prednisone. Now, I've talked about prednisone already 3, 4, 5 times on the program. Had a couple of programs just the other day on it. And one of the biggest side effects to prednisone that becomes problematic is it can give us problems sleeping. So you can see if you're already having a problem sleeping from maybe some of your medications, you throw in a little bit of caffeine at the wrong time of day, and you've really got a disaster waiting to happen, especially as far as you're going to be awake all night. Now, I want to add one more thing to that, and it's pretty minor compared to those other two, but also keep in mind that because of the prednisone, again, maybe some of the Prograf or other medications you might be on, CellCept, I think also will do the same. Sometimes on those medications, you're going to have some problems with your blood sugar, especially blood sugar spikes up and down. A lot of us out there who drink coffee, I don't drink it, but a lot who do, like to put a lot of creamer and sugar even in their coffee, and taking in that extra cream and sugar, elevating your blood sugar levels or something like that can be a problem if you're already having a side effect of some medications that are doing much the same. So in general, I think you're going to be fine to drink the coffee. And I know those who are heavy drinkers of coffee would probably tell you immediately, "I'll go ahead, it won't hurt you." And they're right, it won't necessarily hurt you, but it could cause a few different minor issues along the way, or at least might cause you to overlook something that may be a problem. But anyway, just keep the questions coming. Anybody, if you'd like to ask me a question, I'd be more than happy to take a few minutes out of my day, answer you back via message, and then in turn, maybe if I think it'll be something to benefit the others, maybe even to make a short video like this. Let me encourage and ask each of you, if you're not already a subscriber of my channel over on YouTube, consider going over to YouTube right now, clicking that big subscribe button, and I will share with you all the information that I can possibly intake, and I'll be happy to answer your questions anytime. As always, I say on every program, even on YouTube, stay stronger, friends.